I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford.
Hey, did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his.
Floyd Mayweather recently joined Terence Crawford. During his training for the upcoming Canelo-Alvarez fight, he praised Crawford's work ethic and skill, calling him the best boxer in the world today. Their tough workout showed strong mutual respect, with Floyd clearly believing Crawford can dominate the big stage.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion, something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as number one.
Crawford opened up about a private talk with Mayweather. He said it wasn't just compliments. Floyd gave useful tips and real motivation. Floyd warned him about how tough Canelo is and told him to stay smart. The advice was serious and helped Crawford stay focused and ready.
That's a big boy. He's strong. You know, you box good. You can do this. You got this over him. You're gonna have to tighten up this. You're gonna have to do this. You know, it's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you'll whoop his ass. You'll do this to him. It's never like
yes man type.
You know what I mean? It's like, hey, listen. You know, that's a dangerous fight. You know, but
that's the fight.
If it happened, you know.
Their meeting caught everyone's attention fast. Fans and media reacted online, calling it more than a training session. The sight of a boxing legend working beside today's rising star felt like a powerful moment, maybe even a symbolic handoff from one great to another.
Floyd,
congratulations, man.
Mayweather stirred things up by bringing up Canelo's past doping scandal, claiming the media treats him lightly. Floyd said some fighters get unfair treatment, and that boxing isn't always equal. His comments sparked a heated debate online, with some agreeing and others accusing him of stirring trouble.
But what we don't talk about is, you know, Canelo. Steroids. They don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. He could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
Since his early career, Crawford has looked up to Floyd not just for his fighting style, but for how he built a lasting legacy. The respect became a real friendship, with Floyd offering helpful advice. Crawford values that wisdom and uses it to keep getting better.
After Canelo made the weight, it wasn't like it was a certain clause to where he couldn't gain weight. So after he weighed 152 or 152 and a half, I think he came in like 168 or close to 170. And actually I came in at probably like I probably came in at 151 and 152.
Gotcha.
But Roy Jones is one hell of a fighter. You know, I can't get on here and hate on his skills and knock his skills. He's been through a lot in the sport of boxing, and he's done a lot for the sport of boxing.
Right now, Crawford is training hard for his biggest test yet. Every movement in the gym, whether it's footwork or punching drills, shows his total focus. Training clips reveal how carefully he's preparing. His game plan is built around both power and smart thinking.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
Boy, you capping, bro. I don't even thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd, nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, I'll beat his ass. Never. That's some hate type shit to me.
Like plot.
I ain't never been that type of person ever.
Crawford is putting extra effort into strengthening his legs. He does intense exercises like lunges and squats to improve power and speed. Strong legs help him move well and stay balanced in the ring. His lower body work shows how serious he is about every part of his game. Floyd also looked back on his own fight with Canelo, saying he weighed only around 151 or 152 pounds. Even though he was smaller, he used smart defense and timing to win. That night proved that skill and strategy can beat size and strength in the ring.
Nice.
How's that feel? Good life.
All right, let him up.
Good life.
Teach him build. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You need to flinch.
In sparring sessions, Crawford's clever fight style stands out. He uses his jab not just to control space, but to throw off his opponent's rhythm. Facing sparring partners who mimic Canelo, he looks sharp and unpredictable. His switch hitting gives him even more edge.
Watch the right hand for the decoy.
Y'all know chess? Fisher versus Spassky? Two of the best, you understand? That's what you watch. Two of the best. That's how Star Wars. You know how to work. You know how to get the most out of everything. Good job, Chad.
Promoter Eddie Hearn told a story about dropping by a gym and watching a rare moment. He saw Floyd and Crawford training and bonding. Eddie had seen Floyd before, but this time felt different. They were laughing, talking deeply, and sharing fun moments. It showed Crawford's lighter side too.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35, 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
Crawford isn't running from critics. He hears people say he's too small or not powerful enough, but he doesn't back down. He embraces the challenge and plans to prove he belongs. He's not just fighting to show up, he wants to win big and silence the doubters.
That's a fight because of the challenge. I love the challenges, and I love the people that I hear them now. You too little. You know, Canelo gonna break you. He's gonna stop you. You come from 147, that weight too big, this and that. I can hear it now. And that just excites me to go in there and just be like, okay, let me prove him wrong once again.
That fight would be gigantic. If Canelo gets through Jermell and then you guys fight, that fight would be gigantic.
And it's crazy because, like, in the past interviews, I was like, man, Canelo too big, man. It's weight classes for a reason. I was like, nah. But in my mind, in my heart, I don't think nobody too big.
Mayweather shared serious advice about Crawford's battle with Canelo, based on his own past fights. Floyd said the key is a smart, focused strategy, not just being aggressive. Coming from someone who retired undefeated, Floyd's message carried weight and helped shape the talk around the fight.
Terence Crawford jumping up from 154 to 168 and beating this quote-unquote version of Canelo Alvarez would diminish the accomplishment that Floyd Mayweather accomplished beating his version of Canelo Alvarez. Is it two different versions of Canelo Alvarez? And obviously, Canelo Alvarez is 62 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is obviously bigger. When Floyd fought him, it was at 152 catch weight, but it had no rehydration clause. So you might as well just say it was at 154. Now, two things they have in common is that Floyd Mayweather was 36, 37 years of age. Terence Crawford is 36, 37 years of age, going on 38. So he'll be 38 when he fights Canelo Alvarez. Floyd had already had 2 fights at 154. He had the fight with Miguel Cotto, and he had the fight with Oscar De La Hoya.
Crawford's coach, Bomac, responded after Canelo dismissed Crawford's past wins. Bomac reminded fans that Crawford easily beat fighters like Porter, Brook, and Gamboa. He said Crawford doesn't look for unfair advantages, he wins clean. That shows Crawford's focus on legacy, not shortcuts.
Come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." You know, but who's he beating? He unified the what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter. Then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified like 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight.
YouTuber and boxing analyst Shob as the adult defended Crawford's record. He pushed back against the idea that beating Errol Spence is his only big win. Shob has pointed to victories like the one over Sean Porter, saying Crawford's greatness comes from years of winning, not just one night.
Is a tight of me saying it. I look at him. Look, Canelo's special too. I get it, and he's bigger. I get that too. And everyone's gonna say, "Well, after Madrimore fight again, had a couple hiccups. Now he's stepping up another weight class. Now he's got to fight Canelo, who's even bigger, stronger, better puncher. You know, a unified champion that he's been. You know, all of that stuff. He's not gonna be able to handle it." I asked this question. See, I go to the other side. I say, okay, yeah, can Canelo handle the smaller guy who's going to be faster, who's going to be slicker, who's going to be better defensively, who's going to have better legs, you know, who's going to be able, sometimes Canelo at this point in his career can slow down a little bit. They're both getting older. I get it.
Veteran fighter Nonito Donaire highlighted Crawford's movement. He believes Crawford's fast and smart footwork could be the key to winning. He said Crawford's ability to dodge punches and stay in control can frustrate even the toughest opponents. Coming from Donaire, that means a lot.
Unpack what just went on. Steve Nelson just said, and I'm paraphrasing because you guys heard it, link will be in the description. He just told you out his own mouth, he's like, fans are saying that Crawford should fight David Benavidez or a true 168 pounder. Doesn't make sense. Bud is after legacy, and then he said, and money. So this proves why I don't want to see this particular fight like some of y'all. He just told you. So this is what I call an advanced cherry pick. Now I know some people, you're gonna start crying. The reason I say advanced, now it's not an advanced, it's not a cherry pick in the normal sense of like, you know, because this would be an accomplishment if Bud can defeat somebody at a higher weight class without acclimating, right? So it's not the traditional cherry pick, but it is still an advance, or this is what I'm calling it, an advanced cherry pick, because his own teammate and friend Steve Nelson is telling you there's no reason for Bud to fight a true 168 pounder. He started off by saying Canelo Alvarez started off smaller, like a welterweight earlier in his career at 54, and then made his way up to 68. So that lets me know the mentality from Team Crawford is Canelo, we know he has shown signs of slippage and being a little bit older in his recent fights. Can't put away Munguia, and some other guy did, Surase.
In Canelo's last fight against William Skull, fans were puzzled. The pace was slow and not many punches were thrown. Canelo didn't look sharp, leading some to wonder if age is catching up with him. Now people are asking if he can still handle younger, faster fighters like Crawford.
Spaceman Films. What up, Biz? Who you got? Canelo Crawford.
Yeah.
Got Canelo.
I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches. I know he's a great man and a great warrior. When you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo, I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody could do better than Charlo did last night.
Do skill really pay the bill? Because that would be tested.
Pay for bill. That's why Canelo killed for too.
That's all for this video. Make sure to stay tuned, there's more to come soon.
You know, Canelo's a stronger guy, the bigger guy, but in the fight with a guy that moves around, and if Crawford uses his skills and his legs and his technique and just his ability, I think he can win. He can win the fight in decision, as long as he doesn't get hit with those big shots from Canelo.
Boxing expert Teddy Atlas asked a big question. Can Crawford move well enough to beat Canelo? Canelo is strong and likes to close the distance, but Atlas thinks Crawford's quick footwork might be the answer. It's a battle of speed versus power, and rhythm could be the difference.
After really the Triple G fight is when we've seen the slippage on Canelo. And over the last 2 years, it's been immediately apparent. It's been apparent straight away over the last 2 years. Canelo's feet have always been slow. He's always been very slow-footed. So when people are saying, oh, it looks like his legs are slowing down, yeah, they are. They've never been quick, but now they're even slower, which is a problem. And Jim Lampley on commentary on Friday night show was saying that one of Canelo's biggest strengths is his legs. It generates power and it helps with his punch resistance. Well, those legs are sliding and that power is diminishing. Canelo hasn't had a stoppage win now since he knocked out Caleb Plant in 2021. And yeah, he's dropped some of these guys, but he's not been able to step on the gas and finish them. He's not been able to go through the gears. His gas tank, you can put that into question as well. And Canelo Alvarez, come July, be 35 years old. So he is, look, Canelo's been around so long, and his real prime was in his mid-20s. So we associate Canelo, mid-20s to early 30s. So we kind of associate Canelo with that. I don't want to say ever young, but you know, he is still young, just not in boxing senses. But he's been around so long, 20 years a pro, and he's been at world levels for probably 15 of those. You're going to expect some slippage. And I think in this fight, an opponent, it was very negative, yes,